Welcome to the Cavelero Mid-High School Class of 2025 Registration Instruction video. So after the presentation was made to students in class, they were also shown how to register. And I want to point out again in this video, like I did in the previous video, that if you go to the Cavelero Mid-High School website, you click on the Counseling tab, the CMS Course Planning Guide Requirements, you can access all of the information that I'm showing you now. So as part of the registration process, there are two things you're going to need to do. You're going to need to access the scheduling form on the website, and it is a Google form. And in your instructions, it will say, please make sure you are signed in to your student Google account. You'll notice at the top that it warns you that this will be collecting your email address, and you need that to be your student account. That will match the name that you place in, which is a name that's on Skyward. Please don't use nicknames. We need to know what your formal name is as it matches Skyward in your Google accounts. And then you'll go through, and in this form, you will fill out your choices. Some things you need to know as you fill them out. Please talk to your parents. Look at your pathways. Make the best choices you can. You get one shot at this. Once you hit submit, it is sent, and you cannot submit another response. So take your time. Do not hit submit until you're ready to go. On some of these selections, I type in my name. I happen to be Mr. Coe, a teacher at Northlake, so I'm going to type in my name as though I were a student. Now, I only get one chance or one option for health and physical education, and you'll notice that when you hit the pull down, there's only one choice, so just choose it. The science course, I can either take regular or challenge. Hey, I happen to be a science teacher, so I'm going to choose challenge science. My English course, for most of us, we'll be choosing English 800, but if you're going to take one of the advanced or a resource, a special education English, choose that. Would you like to be considered for English support class? If you need extra support currently, or you feel as though you're struggling in English and you indicate yes, they will work with you to get in an extra a class with extra support. Integrated Washington State history, U.S. history, it's your only choice. Everybody's taken that class. If you are going to choose, or if you chose Challenge English, you can also consider taking an English history block. In other words, it will be 2 consecutive class periods with the same teacher where they integrate English and social studies or history together. I'm going to hit no on that since I didn't sign up. I signed up for Challenge English. Math course, I'm going to assume I'm 2 years ahead. I'm taking algebra this year, so I choose geometry. If I was taking pre-algebra, I would take algebra. If I'm in Math 7, I would take Math 8. If I need a resource math, I would take a resource math. Would I like to be considered for math support? Just like with the language arts option, if you feel you need the extra support, you're in a class that needs extra support currently and you want to continue that, then you hit yes or no. And then you're going to hit next and continue on with your electives. Now there's a large number of electives. Some things to remember. There are year-long electives and there are semester-long electives. So look at the description and the following semester indicator. If I'm going to take Spanish, let's say I want to take Spanish, and I select it, it's going to give me for a full year. I want a semester course. I'm going to choose a semester course. And then that's going to be my first choice. If band was selected, I put in my instrument. If I'm not selecting band, I can leave that blank. Then I go to my second choice. What happens if my first choice doesn't work out or isn't full? Here's what I want them to consider next. Maybe I'm going to take art. And then my third choice, because it's a semester class, maybe I want to do art and flight in space. What I can't do is sign up for a semester course and follow it up with a year-long course, because a year-long course is a year-long course. I can't mix in the middle. And then alternate, I continue my alternates, and then I submit the form. Remember, once you hit submit, that's the information they're going to get. So be careful. Don't commit until you're ready to commit. So that's the scheduling form. That gives the counselors the information they need to compare it to your schedule for accuracy. If you have any questions, remind you again that on the counseling website, I'm going to go back to the overview tab, you can be put in contact with any of the counselors, and it's by last name, alphabetical. I believe it is under the staff link, and there they are, the counselors for Cavelero. And notice after their names, they provide the alphabet of the students that they serve by last name. Then it's time to head over to Family Access. And I have Family Access open already. I'm going to expand it to full screen. You need to sign in to Family Access with your student information. You can't use your parents, because if you do, and you go to the first place we're going to go to, which is Schedule, you will not see the option in the upper right to request courses, because your parents don't get to go to Cavelero. You do. So we're up here in the upper right, and we're going to request courses for the 2021 school year. And when I do that, I get another pop-up window, and I get a long list of courses on the left. Now, just like in the course catalog and on that Google form, here's the courses I'm going to indicate that I want to take. If you remember from the presentation, you have a 6-period day divided into 2 semesters. So therefore, I'm going to sign up for 12 courses. Each class period, I'm going to have a full year's worth of information. So one thing I can tell you is I have to take health no matter what. So I'm going to click on health. Don't click on the links. Click on just the general text box and hit add course. And it will pop up on the right. Now you'll notice, clever little trick that they did, is that as soon as I hit health, PE went along with it. Had I chose PE, health would have went along with it, because those two are locked together. They are a year-long course, each one of them being a semester. And you can see that indicated with the 0.5 credits. And it also says required. So required courses are going to end up over on the right for sure. Okay, English. My English course. I decided on my form that I'm taking grade level English. I'm not ahead in English, so I'm going to pick from 7th grade to 8th grade, and I'm going to add course. And look at that, 8.1 and 8.2 both moved over. So it really didn't matter which one I chose, they're both coming over. Now there's another little trick I'll show you before I go back to this, is I want to look for my math class, and I could scroll up and down, but in my course catalog, next to the title of the class I want to take, there's a course code. And if I start to type that in the search bar in the bottom left, so math is MTH, if I do that in search, just the math classes come up. Well, I indicated that I was going to take geometry, because I'm a math rock star and I'm taking algebra this year. So I'm going to select geometry 1-1 or 1-2. They go together. They're a year-long course, the 2 semesters, and they move over together. Now I decide, what else in my day am I needing to take? Oh yes, I have to take a history class. And I can scroll or I can search. And since I don't have my course catalog in front of me, I don't remember what the code is, I'm just going to search for it. There it is, integrated history. I'm going to select one of them, and they're both going to go over. So far, I have 2, 4, 6, 8 classes. 8 semesters worth of stuff. That's 4 class periods. So I need 6 class periods. I've got 4 more to go. So I got to go in here and try to remember, without a course catalog in front of me, what it is I'm doing. I have my math, my English, my social studies, my PE and health, my science. I forgot my science. I'm taking challenge science. So I select it and add it to the list. So I have all my required classes over there, and I've got 2 more to pick. 2 semesters worth, or 1 class period for the year. I get my electives. These are the courses that I get to choose based on my interests. And let's say I wanted Spanish, which I think I indicated in the form. I select Spanish and add it. And Spanish moves over there as a pair because it's a year-long course. I have to take both semesters. That would have been true of band or choir or leadership. Now, electives require a little more thought. First off, if you are interested in leadership, that has to be your number 1 choice. Leadership is limited to 30 students. There's usually more than 30 students that apply for it. They're going to rank it by GPA. Freshmen get priority, then 8th graders. And if you don't sign it up as your first option, you're not getting in leadership, so don't bother. So if you really want leadership, put it first. Otherwise, just move on. Spanish can be competitive to get into as well. So you're going to want Spanish up there. Now, it is possible where you say, I want leadership, and if I don't get in, and I do like Spanish, I'm going to put Spanish second. Don't ever put Spanish third. You're just, they won't get to you on the list by then. That leaves open my alternates. So I chose Spanish first. To choose my alternates so they know the difference between what I want most and what I want second is I have to come up to the top and click Request Alternates. Now it's going to look almost the same. The screen just changed a little bit. You'll notice there's some R's over here on the right side. Other than that, it looks pretty similar. So if I don't get into Spanish, I know Mr. Linus and how great the robotics program is there. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to find the 2 classes he teaches. He teaches flight and space, and that's amazing. And I'm going to add that. And since that's a semester, I need another semester to go with it, and that included the robotics. That would be an exciting year of technology for me. Those are my next choices. But there is an outside chance that I don't get those. I'm like, oh no, what would I do next? If I didn't get into those, what else might I do? I might choose digital media and add that course. And let's say art. I like to be creative. So what I've done is I've picked up to 4 more electives, and they're indicated by these arrows. What these arrows allow me to do is move them up and down this order, because remember, top is higher priority than bottom. So right now, flight and space is number 1. I might decide, you know what, robotics is my number 1. If I don't get into Spanish, I can bump my robotics to the top, and it might go with flight and space, and then I might get digital media, and then I might get art. And maybe I decide, oh, I want art a little higher than digital media. Those are my alternates. Those are what they will consider in order if they get to the alternates and if I don't get into Spanish. Once I've done that, I have selected my courses, and they are in the system, and they will stay there. And that way the counselors can review them. And then when you show up in August, you'll have your official schedule posted in Skyward. So hopefully that gives you some insights on how to register. If you need any more assistance, again, pointing you to the Counseling Center, Cavelero website, alphabetical by last name. Contact your counselor for next year, and they will guide you through the process. If you have any other questions, see your current counselor at the current school you're at. Good luck at Cavelero.